Hi everyone, this is Matan Yugman from Modera Data Solutions, and today we'll talk about SQL Server 2016 Live Query Statistics and how to enable this feature for all the queries that run in your system. If we go to Management Studio and run a query and enable Live Query Statistics over here, when we run the query, we can see the rows starting to flow between the operators, and we have the ability to see where is the problem when the execution plan, when the query is actually running. So if we see over here at the bottom, we can see that the index seek at the bottom is way off than what it should be. It's at around 2000% compared to the estimated number of rows that SQL Server thought this operator would have to deal with. And obviously this isn't very good. And when we go back to the execution plan, we can see that the execution took 32 seconds, and maybe we can do something a little better. In this case, the problem is that we use local variables, and when we use local variables, SQL Server doesn't know the value of the variables and generates some kind of default plan according to the statistics it has on the table, but the execution plan isn't optimized to the values that are inside the variable. So if we go down here and use another plan, what we do is use option recompile, and if we use option recompile, we basically say to SQL Server, go read the values that are inside the variables and generate a plan that is optimized for those values. And if we do that, we hit F5 and execute the query, and we can see that the execution plan is slightly different. We have an index seek, then a sort, and then a clustered index seek at the bottom, and we can see that the rows are starting to flow between the operators. We're at 60% of this index seek, and when we finish, we will go to the sort and then to the clustered index seek, and runtime should be better. So we're at 100% of the big transaction history table and 148% of the big product table, which is more than 100%, but not as off as the previous situation where we were at around 3000%. And the runtime in this case was 23% instead of the 32% that we had earlier. So this is Live Query Statistics. Again, allows us to see where we have a problem in the execution plan when the query is actually running. And this allows us to see the differences between the estimated number of rows and the estimated execution plan compared to the actual execution plan, which in some cases was very hard to see before we had this feature. Now, the issue is that if we want to see that, we have to enable either Live Query Statistics at the query level in Management Studio, or include the actual execution plan, or gather the actual execution plan using Profiler or extended events. And when we want to see that at the global level, first of all, what we can do is if we enable Live Query Statistics or actual execution plan in Management Studio, what we can do is we will hit F5 again, and we will go to Activity Monitor, and we will go to Active Expensive Queries, and we should be able to see the execution plan. We go and hit Show Live Execution Plan, and again we can see the query while it's running and the rows flying between the operators. But if we close that and we will not include the actual execution plan, and we'll run the query again and go to Activity Monitor again, if we refresh and go to Active Expensive Queries, we can see that we don't have the ability to show live execution plan, and we can see what's going on in the queries. So we had to enable that beforehand or gather the actual execution plan using profiler or extended events. But starting SQL Server 2016 Service Pack 1, the product team developed something that is called lightweight profiling, and this means that we can hook into a running query because the lightweight profiling means that SQL Server gathers a little less information than in the full profiling, if we can call it like that. But it allows us to see the live execution plan of each and every query that runs in our system. And what the product team says is that it's about 2% overhead on the system, and this means that most of the systems can withstand this kind of load. So how can we enable that? We go to SQL Server Configuration Manager, and we go to Startup Parameters, and we need to add a trace flag 7412. So what we will do, we'll add -t 7412, and we will click Add, and we click OK. And now, in order for it to take place, we need to restart the SQL Server service. So we will do restart. And now that SQL Server is running again, we will not include the actual execution plan. We will not include live query statistics. We'll run the query again. And again, go to Activity Monitor and Active Expensive Queries. And we are now able to hit Show Live Execution Plan. And we can see again the execution plan while the query is running. So a very powerful tool for execution plan lovers, for performance tuners, that allows us to hook into running queries that go way off of the estimated runtime, and allows us to see where the problem is and improve query runtime. So thanks for listening. If you liked it, check out maderadata.com/blog for more information, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. More good stuff is coming. Thanks, bye-bye.